Hey guys, it's Kimberly from StampinByTheSea.com. I'm excited you're here today because I'm going to show you a card making these fun little bells with some cute little bells added, but we're going to be using this cool little sponge dauber tool. I love sponge daubers, and for a image like this little bell, this can become a really fun coloring tool. So let's get started and let me show you how we did this card. So we're going to start off with our card base, which is Whisper White thick cardstock. I like the thick because it's nice and thick and sturdy for your handmade cards. And that just measures 4 1/4 by 11. And then you're going to have a piece of cherry cobbler, and that's 4 by 5 5/8. We're going to set that to the side, and we'll come back with that. You're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need another piece of Whisper White that's 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. And that's basically what you need, and just a scrap piece of Whisper White because you're going to emboss some bells. So let's put all these to the side and let's get started with the first layer of Whisper White. And that again was 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So the first thing I want to start with is just doing a little sponging with a regular sponge and Flirty Flamingo. And so we're just going to open that up, sponge it a little bit, makes a crazy noise. And we're just going to make a nice circle here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just giving a little bit of effect on the background here. Now once I have that down, I'm actually going to add a little bit more color with the sponge dauber, and it already has some Watermelon Wonder on it, and I'm just going to darken this up a little bit. And if you have a sponging snafu like over here in the corner, we'll just sponge over that a little bit, and that's just going to darken it a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. I'm just adding a little bit of interest to the card. So the next thing we're going to do is grab our snowflake from the tin of tags, and I'm just gonna put that on the block. We're going to use a little bit of this Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to stamp a few snowflakes in the background, just like that. We'll add one more. Perfect. Now, for the most part, that piece is done. We'll just stick that to the side. Now, the next thing we have is a piece of the Flirty Flamingo. Man, that is like a hard word to say. I can't say that word fast. I'm afraid what's going to come out of my mouth. So, Flirty right here is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to stamp in the basic black the greeting from this, and then we'll set that to the side. Now, the fun part. We're going to work with these awesome bells, and I've already embossed these with the copper, but this is the fun part I want to show you in how we're going to color them. Now, again, I used Watercolor Wonder, and I already have some ink on this sponge dauber, so all I'm going to do is just add a little bit more in there. So it's not dark enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Simple dimple, just like that. Now, when I first tried doing this, I had watercolored my image. I thought, okay, I'm going to take my blender pen, and with my blender pen, I'm going to, where is my blender pen? Oh, blender pen, Mr. Blender Pen, here it is. And I started watercoloring, and it just wasn't dark enough, and I was getting some streaks that I just didn't like. So I decided, let me take the sponge dauber and go over it, and it really brightened it up. You don't have to worry about going out of the lines for this particular card that we're doing because we're going to cut the image out. But the other thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of pink color to those bows. So I'm just going to use my blender pen and just add a little color, just like that. And if you want your bells to be just a little bit darker, then you can just add a little bit more ink, just like that. All right, so now it's time to cut those out, and I've already done that. to save us just a wee bit of time. But I do want to grab my hole punch. This is the 1/4 inch, and on one of them, just one, I'm going to bring in and punch a hole in my bell because I want to take the baker's twine, and I'm using the trio baker's twine. If you don't have any of this stuff, oh my gosh, you have to, because this gold thread is so yummalicious. Oh my goodness, I love it. So we're gonna just take this and we're going to thread it into this hole, something like that. And then I'm gonna tie it in a knot. This is when these bells, oh, watch this. This is so fun, so fun. And this really is just kicking it up just a wee bit. You know, I like to kick things up just a notch or two. So let's tie a knot, but not too tight, because then you'll break your little hole there, and then that'll make you cry. All right, so now we have these little mini jingle bells. Oh my word, are they not the cutest things? Now what I'm gonna do is just thread, and believe it or not, it's not that hard. It's going to be hard because I'm doing this on film. Hold on, I have to lick it. But the person that's receiving the card won't have to worry about that because I'll cut the end off. Okay, so you know, I was going to say that wasn't going to come out perfect because, well, you know, it just wasn't going to do it. So let's get one more here, and you just thread it. So hopefully you can get these jingle bells on without a hitch. Most of the time when I'm not filming, I can get them on without a problem. So once you have your jingle bells on, let's get all our threads straightened out and get the jingle bells all the way down to where they need to be. And then we're going to take, I'm all thumbs right now. Okay. And then we're going to tie it in a bow. And if it flips, it's okay. Get them tight there. And again, I just love, 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 love this gold thread. It's thin, it's pretty, it's fun. All right, so now that looks pretty horrendous. So let's make it pretty. Okay. So that took me a little bit longer, only because I'm filming, and when I do things like this, it just takes me a long time because I'm all thumble thumbs. Thumble thumbs, big thumbs, fat thumbs, you name it, that's what I got. So I'm going to cut off some extra because I don't want them that big. And now it's time to put all this card together. So we're going to come back here to our pretty that we have stamped and our flirty flamingo, and we need a little bit of fast fuse. First thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of 1/4 of a doily on. So I'm going to just bring it down like that. And now for this piece, we're going to give some dimensionals on there. Let me find them. And let's just put 2 dimensionals. That's all we need. And then we're going to just put that right across our card like that. Now the first bell I'm just going to put on with some regular adhesive, and we'll put it on just like that. You'll notice I just like to curl it up just a wee bit, makes it pretty. And then this next one though, we're going to use a dimensional, and we're just going to put it just like that. Now, once you have your bell on, let's go back to the original. You're going to layer it onto your next piece of Whisper White. And, oh, looky there. Look, my dimensional wasn't down. Right there. So your 2 pieces of Whisper White, and there's your bells. And you could even add a little bit more splatter, or you could add some of the pink frost sequins and add some of those pink sequins and really bring it out, bring the pinks out. It'd be really pretty. All right, so that's it for today. Again, sponge daubers. It is really an awesome tool. So I use these a ton. I believe they come 12 in a pack, and these are awesome to have on your stamp table. You'll use them a lot. All right, have a great day.